Welcome back. I've been watching travel drama unfold across the internet for years now, and I've noticed something interesting. While everyone's busy watching influencers get scammed in Bali or thrown off flights in Paris, there's a quieter question brewing underneath all that chaos. Where can regular people actually live well without breaking the bank? Today, I'm breaking down my top 3 countries where you can live comfortably on $1,500 a month. These aren't just cheap places to exist. These are spots where your money stretches, the culture welcomes you, and you're not constantly looking over your shoulder wondering when the next scam is coming. And I'm saving the most surprising pick for last, because this country checks every single box, and it's probably not where you think. Before we dive in, let me tell you what matters to me when I'm picking these places. I want safety, because I'm too old to be dealing with street hustlers and sketchy neighborhoods. I want good food that doesn't cost a week's salary. I need healthcare that actually works, because at a certain age, this stuff matters. And honestly, I want to wake up somewhere beautiful, not staring at concrete walls in some depressing suburb. All 3 of these countries deliver on every single point. Quick favor before we start. If you're watching this, chances are you love travel drama, messy airport stories, and real talk about what it actually costs to live abroad. Hit that subscribe button because we're bringing you this kind of content every week. Over 80% of you watching right now aren't subscribed, and that genuinely helps us keep making these videos. All right, let's get into it. Number 3 on my list is Thailand. Now, I know what you're thinking. Thailand's been done to death. Everyone talks about it. It's overrun with tourists. And you're partially right. But here's the thing. Thailand keeps showing up on these lists for a reason. It works. I'm not talking about living in the middle of Bangkok's tourist traps or Phuket's overpriced beach clubs. I'm talking about places like Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and even some of the smaller coastal towns that don't show up on Instagram every 5 seconds. Chiang Mai is one of those cities that just makes sense when you're living on a budget. You've got mountains surrounding you, temples on practically every corner, and a food scene that's absolutely unbeatable for the price. A plate of pad krapao, that's stir-fried basil chicken with rice, runs you about $2 at a local spot. Not a tourist restaurant, a real local joint where Thai people actually eat. You can get fresh mango sticky rice for $1.50. A full Thai massage, the legitimate kind that actually helps your back, is $6 to $8. Rent is where Thailand really shines. In Chiang Mai, you can rent a modern 1-bedroom apartment. We're talking decent furniture, air conditioning, maybe a small balcony, for $300 to $450 a month. If you're willing to go a bit outside the old city, you can find places for even less. 2 bedrooms run around $500 to $600, which is wild when you consider what that gets you. Pools, gyms, secure buildings, stuff that would cost you $3,000 a month back in the States. Healthcare is another huge reason people flock to Thailand. You got private hospitals with English-speaking doctors, modern equipment, and costs that are a fraction of what you'd pay in the US. A regular doctor's visit might run you $25 to $30. An MRI is a couple hundred instead of a couple thousand. If you're at that age where health becomes a real priority, this is a massive deal. The visa situation used to be a bit of a headache, but Thailand's been rolling out better long-term options. There's the retirement visa, if you're over 50, which requires about $25,000 in a Thai bank account or proof of monthly income around $2,000. But if you're flexible and okay with visa runs or education visas, you can make it work on less. What I love about Thailand is the variety. You can spend a few months in the mountains up north, then head down to islands like Koh Lanta or Koh Phangan when you want beach time. The domestic travel is cheap. Flights between cities cost $30 to $60. Overnight buses are even cheaper if you don't mind roughing it a bit. On $1,500 a month, you're not just surviving, you're eating out most days, getting massages, taking weekend trips, and still probably saving a little bit. And let's be honest, the community matters. Chiang Mai has a huge expat scene, which means you're not isolated. There are meetups, language exchanges, social groups. If you're someone who worries about loneliness or culture shock, Thailand offers that soft landing.
You can stay in your comfort zone or push yourself to learn Thai and dive deep into the culture. It's really up to you.
Number 2 is Portugal. This one surprises people because Portugal is in Europe, and most folks assume Europe is way too expensive to live on $1,500 a month. And if you're trying to live in Lisbon or Porto's trendiest neighborhoods, yeah, you're going to struggle. But Portugal has smaller cities and towns that are affordable, safe, and honestly gorgeous. Let's talk about places like Braga, Coimbra, or even parts of the Algarve outside the main tourist zones. Braga is up north. It's one of Portugal's oldest cities, full of history, beautiful architecture, and a relaxed pace of life. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center runs about 500 to 600 euros a month. Outside the center, you're looking at 400 to 500. That's doable on 1,500 a month. Food costs are reasonable if you're eating like a local. A full meal at a neighborhood restaurant, we're talking soup, a main course like bacalhau, or grilled sardines, bread, and a drink, cost about 8 to 12 euros. The supermarkets are affordable too. Fresh produce, cheese, bread, wine, it all costs way less than you'd expect. You can cook at home most nights and eat out a couple times a week without blowing your budget. Portugal's healthcare system is another massive plus. If you're a legal resident, you get access to the public health system, which is solid. Even private healthcare is affordable compared to the US. A private doctor's visit might cost 30 to 50 euros. Prescriptions are subsidized. If you're dealing with chronic conditions or just want peace of mind as you age, Portugal handles this well. The culture is welcoming, especially toward retirees. Portuguese people tend to be warm, helpful, and patient if you're trying to learn the language. And honestly, a lot of people speak English, especially in the cities. You're not going to feel completely lost even if your Portuguese is rough. What really seals the deal for me with Portugal is the visa access. Portugal offers a few pathways for long-term living. There's the D7 visa, which is designed for retirees and people with passive income. You need to show you have a steady income of at least 760 euros a month, which is well below 1,500. Once you've got residency, you're in the Schengen zone, which means you can travel freely across most of Europe. You want to spend a weekend in Spain? Hop on a bus. Want to see Paris? Book a cheap flight. That kind of freedom is priceless. The scenery is stunning, too. Portugal has everything. Beaches along the Algarve, rolling hills and vineyards in the Douro Valley, historic cities with cobblestone streets and tile-covered buildings. You can live somewhere beautiful without feeling like you're stuck in the middle of nowhere. And the weather is genuinely pleasant. Mild winters, warm summers, tons of sunshine. If you're coming from a cold climate, that alone might be worth the move. One thing to keep in mind is that Portugal has been getting more popular and some prices have crept up in the last few years. Lisbon and Porto are honestly out of range for most people on 1,500 a month now, but the smaller cities and towns are still very much affordable, and they offer a quality of life that's hard to beat.
And now, number 1, Albania. I know some of you just raised an eyebrow. Albania? Yes, Albania. This country is hands down one of the best-kept secrets in Europe right now, and I genuinely think it's the top spot to live on 1,500 a month. Let me paint the picture. Albania sits right on the Mediterranean, sandwiched between Greece and Montenegro. The beaches along the Albanian Riviera are stunning. We're talking crystal clear water, dramatic cliffs, little villages tucked into coves. The mountains inland are spectacular. You've got the Albanian Alps up north, perfect for hiking, and lush green valleys everywhere. If you love nature and variety, Albania delivers. The food is Mediterranean with Balkan influences, and it's absolutely delicious. Fresh seafood, grilled meats, börek, which is this flaky pastry filled with cheese or spinach, tavkosi, which is baked lamb with yogurt. Everything is made with fresh, local ingredients, and it tastes incredible. A full meal at a local restaurant costs about $6 to $10. A coffee is $1. Fresh produce at the market is dirt cheap. You can eat like royalty on this budget. Rent is where Albania blows every other country out of the water. In cities like Saranda or Vlora, right on the coast, you can rent a one-bedroom apartment with a sea view for $300 to $450 a month. A two-bedroom might run you $500 to $600. And these aren't dumps. We're talking modern apartments, some with balconies overlooking the water, in safe neighborhoods. If you want to be inland, cities like Tirana, the capital, or Berat, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, are even cheaper. You can find nice places for $250 to $350 a month. On $1,500 a month, you've got money left over for travel, entertainment, eating out, whatever you want. Here's the kicker. If you're a U.S. citizen, you can stay in Albania visa-free for up to 1 year. No paperwork, no proof of income, no bank statements. Just show up and you're good for 12 months. After that, you can apply for temporary residency if you want to stay longer, and the requirements are super reasonable. This is a massive advantage, especially compared to the hoops you have to jump through in other European countries. Albania is also incredibly safe. Crime rates are low, people are friendly and welcoming, and there's a genuine respect for guests. Albanians take hospitality seriously. You're not constantly worried about getting scammed or ripped off, which is a refreshing change if you've been following all the travel drama online lately. And the location is perfect. You're a short ferry ride from Corfu, Greece. You can catch budget flights to Italy, Greece, Germany, all over Europe, often for $50 to $80 round trip. You're living in Europe with full access to explore the continent whenever you want, all while spending a fraction of what it would cost to live in Western Europe. The expat community is growing, but it's not overrun yet. You'll meet other foreigners, but you're not drowning in tourists like you would be in Thailand or Portugal. It still feels authentic, like you're discovering something before everyone else catches on. I can't stress enough how much Albania checks every single box. Stunning scenery, delicious food, rock-bottom prices, easy visa access, safety, and proximity to the rest of Europe. For $1,500 a month, you can live an incredible life here, better than almost anywhere else I can think of. So, there you have it, my top 3 countries where I'd live on $1,500. Thailand for the food, community, and variety, Portugal for the European lifestyle, healthcare, and travel access, and Albania as the absolute #1 for affordability, beauty, and that perfect Mediterranean life. If this video helped you out or got you thinking about your own move, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. It genuinely helps us keep making content like this. Drop a comment and let me know which country you'd pick, or if there's somewhere else you think should have made the list. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.